Hello students, myself Mrs. Chetna Patel from LP Savani Group of School. Now this is the second session of the chapter from the Diary of Annie Frank. In the first part, we have done the introduction part. Okay, now here you can see some oral comprehension questions there, which we will discuss when we meet during the online classes there. Fine? Okay. Now let us continue with the chapter there. Now further, as you can see on this page, here we will see the brief sketch of the family of Annie Frank. Okay, fine. So let us start with the next page there. Since no one would understand a word of my story to Kitty, if I were to plunge here means to jump. Here jumping means not actually jumping, but to write, okay? The writing part. To plunge right in, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so, okay? So what is she trying to say is that now before I start noting down the important things, okay, she would first like to introduce her family members and all, so that if at all anybody would happen to read her diary, would understand it in a better way. Fine. So the next paragraph is all about her family members and all. Fine. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen. Okay, so she calls her father the most adorable father. He married my mother until he was 36, that is the age, and mother was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. And I was born on 12 June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father immigrated to Holland in 1933. Okay, so after 4 to 5 years, his father emigrated. That means he transferred to Holland there from Germany. Okay. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margaret went to Holland in December and I followed in February. When I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margaret, okay? So her born was like a present to her elder sister there, okay? It was considered to be as a present gift for her elder sister. So this is how they moved from Germany to Holland. Okay, first the children moved, that is Margaret and herself, they moved and they were asked to live with her grandmother, and after that their parents followed them. Fine. Now, okay, in the next paragraph, she is talking about her schooling and all. I started right away at the Montessori Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the 6th form, my teacher was Mrs. Kuperus, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell. Okay, so yes, that shows the compatibility that Annie Frank had with her teacher there. Okay, in the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with a little celebration. Yes. So when her birthday arrived, Grandma was unwell and she had to be operated, right? So as the parents had to concentrate on the health of the grandma, her celebration was not paid much heed, and it was just a informal one. And that is why she says that my birthday passed with a little celebration. Okay, so where the people were not invited, it was only the family members and all who were present on her birthday. Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. Yes. So again we will see. Okay, see the relation what Annie Frank had with the near and dear one was so extreme, that the departure have made her all alone. So you're also her grandma died. Okay, and that is why to remember her during her birthday, every birthday she would keep an extra candle, okay, in remembrance of her grandmother there. Okay, so that's the next thing there. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for another, and grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. Okay, so yes, the coming birthday was celebrated with great pomp and show in order to compensate for the last year's birthday. At the same time, by default, she would remember her grandmother by lighting an extra candle for her. Okay. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20th June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. Okay, so that is how there, after giving the brief introduction about the family members and all, then she is talking about the present day, and that is how she decided to continue or rather start her diary there by being a very dedicated friend there. Okay, I hope it is clear till here. Again, on the page ending, you will see few question answers. Now, as I said before, we will discuss it during the online classes there. Okay, yes. Now, after giving the introduction of her family members and how she remembered her grandmother, the kind of relationship she had with her teacher and all, fine. So then she talked about the present day, that is dated as 20th June 1942. Okay, and that is how she decided to jot it down all the important event of her life there in the diary. And in this particular chapter, we are going to see only a part of it. Okay, fine. Dearest Kitty. So that is how she has addressed, as I've told you before, that it was not a mere diary but a friend to her, and that is why she has greeted her like a friend, dearest Gretty. Okay, Kitty. Our entire class is quacking in its boots. Okay, now what do you mean by quacking in the boots? Okay, so I was talking about quacking in its boots. Quacking in its boots means shaking with fear. Okay, now what is the reason why the students were going through this situation? Okay, so the reason behind is, yes, we are going to see in the next line. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. Okay, so this was the reason why the students were in fear there, because the teacher was going to announce the result and they will come to know about who will be promoted and who will be detained there. Fine. Okay, moving further. Half of the class is making bets. Bets, students, you all have the habit, no? Chal, they put a bet. Come on, I'm going to get this much marks. The other one says, no, I'm going to get it and all. So they put a bet. So here also we'll see that the students are putting a bet for which like who is going to be promoted and who is going to hold back. Okay, so we'll see further. Gian and I GN, that's a initials been used for one of the classmate. Okay. I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us. Okay. So Annie Frank and her friend, they were laughing at the silly bet with the two boys who were sitting behind them were making. CN and Jacques, who have staked their entire holiday. Stake means putting it at risk. Okay. So putting at a risk their entire holiday, saving on their bet. Okay. Now when they bet, they put there some dear things on it or some amount there. So here they have put some amount because that shows that their entire holidays have been spent on saving on their bet. That means they couldn't spend any money, but rather they had to save for their bet there. Okay. From morning to night, it's you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. Okay. So this was a bet and rather argument going on that you are going to get through very easily, but the other would say, no, I am not going to get it very easily then. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outburst. Outburst here means a sudden outbreak of anger, to get very angry. Can't calm down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back, but teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth there. Okay. So yes, what Annie is trying to say over here is that the half of the class is making bet on the result which the teacher is going to announce, and she expects that she as well as a friend would pass the exam and would be promoted to the next class. But there are a quarter, that means 1/4 of the class are dummies. What do you mean by dummies? Fools. Okay. That shows their IQ level is very low, and that is why she says that yes, 1/4 of the class, I'm sure, will be hold back. But then too, she justify herself by saying the last line, she calls teachers so because no one knows what result will be given to them, to the different students there. Okay. Okay, so I hope it's clear with the first paragraph where the students are in fear, they are frightened, they are afraid of the result. At the same time, some betting was being done, but Annie and her friend were relaxed because they are quite sure that they are going to be promoted to the next class. Fine. I am not so worried about my girlfriends and myself. We will make it. The only subject I'm not sure about is maths. Okay, so as I told you before, that Annie and her friend, they are not worried. They said yes, they will get through very easily. But the only subject where she was not sure is about maths. Anyway, all we can do is wait. Until then, we kept telling each other not to lose heart. Yes, fine. So, while they were discussing about the results, okay, so Annie said yes, she was only worried about maths. But anyway, now they cannot do anything. But the only thing is to wait and watch. Till then, each of them, they were trying to console each other by saying that do not lose heart. You will get through easily and all. Okay. So, yes, students, you all also go to the same situation. Keep cross your fingers. You pray. You start praying. Okay. And you also expect to get through easily. Some of them, they expect to get good marks, and that is how they're. Okay. Fine. I hope it's clear till here. Okay. Now in the next paragraph, Annie is talking about the compatibility or the kind of relation which she had with the teachers there. Fine. I get along pretty well with all my teacher. Pretty well means quite well. She was quite comfortable with all her subject teachers. Okay. There are 9 of them. So there are altogether 9 teachers, wherein 7 are male teachers and 2 women. Okay. So altogether there were 9 teachers, out of which 7 were male teachers and the 2 were the female teacher. Mr. Kissing, the old fogey who teaches maths. Old fogey means an old-fashioned person. Okay. Who teaches maths was very annoyed. Annoyed means was not happy with Annie Frank. Okay. And why? What is the reason why the maths teacher was unhappy? Unhappy means he was always annoyed with her. Okay. Because I talked so much. Okay. So because she was very talkative there, and that is why Mr. Kissing did not like her. Okay, did not, I don't want to say did not like her, but that is why he used to get annoyed at her. After several warnings, he assigned me an extra homework. Okay, so in spite of repeated warning, she would continue talking. Okay, so Mr. Kissing realized that she was not able to keep quiet, and that is why an extra assignment was been assigned to her. Okay, so after several warnings, he assigned me an extra homework. And what was an extra homework? An essay on the subject chatterbox. Now what do you mean by chatterbox? Chatterbox means very talkative. Yes, many a time you must have heard this word in the classroom, been narrated by your teachers there. You chatterbox. Okay, that is how they chatterbox, very talkative. So in spite of repeated warning, Annie continued her talking. Mr. Kissing found another way to keep her engaged, and that is why she was assigned an extra homework. And homework was to write an essay on a subject, a chatterbox. What can you write about that? I would worry about that later. I decided. I jotted down. Jotted down means noted down and title in my notebook, tucked it in my bag and tried to keep quiet. Okay. So she noted down the topic in the notebook. Then she kept the bag tucked. That means she closed her bag and she was trying. Okay. So then also she couldn't resist herself from talking. But then she said she tried to keep quiet there. Okay. Fine. Okay. So we saw that how she was comfortable with all the teacher. But the only problem with the maths teacher was that she was very talkative there. Fine. So she noted down the topic in her notebook, and that particular evening she decided to do or write an essay on chatterbox. Okay. That evening, after I had finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. Okay. So after completing all her assignment and all, she remembered that she had to write an essay on the topic chatterbox. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Yes, this is a very common practice where all the students do it. Like supposing if you're thinking about any particular subject where you don't have any idea where to start upon, that is what we do. Whether it's a pencil or a pen, you put it in your mouth and that is how you start chewing. Okay. So similarly, your Annie Frank, she was completely blank. She did not have any idea how to start to write an essay on the topic about chatterbox. Anyone could ramble on and leaves big space between the words. Okay, ramble on means talk or write aimlessly for long. But the trick was to come up with a convincing argument to prove the necessity of talking. Yes. Now, what she says, it was not tough to write an essay there, but here she says that she not only wanted to write, but she also wanted to justify her habit of talking there. And that is why she was not convinced only writing about the chatterbox there. Okay, so that is why she says that, but the trick was to come up with the convincing argument. She wanted to prove herself that why talking was so important for her. Okay, I thought and suddenly I had an idea. Okay, so yes, she was going on with her fountain pen in her mouth. She thought of it and she went on and on pondering about how she can justify herself and talk to her teacher there. I wrote the 3 pages Mr. Casing had assigned me and was satisfied. I argued that talking is a student's trait, it's a quality, and that I would do my best to keep it under control. Okay, so yes, convincingly she wrote 3 pages. At the same time, she has mentioned that talking is a student's trait. Trait means personality, or rather you can say it's one of the student's quality which nobody can nobody can stop them. Okay, and that I would do my best to keep it under control. Okay, so here also we will see that she is trying to say that she cannot completely give up, but she will try that she could lessen it up. Okay, lessen here means she can keep it under control. So that is how she has written an essay on chatterbox convincingly to justify herself that why she cannot resist from talking there. Okay, I hope it's clear till here. The next part we will see, the rest of the chapter we'll see in the next part there. Okay, till then, good day, goodbye.